All right, Cheryl, you're good.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I think I know most of you on the line. If I don't, my name's Cheryl Cortese. I'm a national marketing director with the Juice Plus Company, and 34 years now, and the adventure continues on and only gets better all the time. I think everybody has come out of this conference, this last conference, whether you experienced it virtually, as I did, with a team of people locally, or whether you were actually there at the conference center. I think we all had quite, a great experience. There were many things to be excited about, but I'm particularly excited about our future because of just I guess you would say, the evolution of our compensation plan, the way we're paid, but especially how people grow up through our marketing model to reach positions, with greater ease. We certainly are still paid the same way. We just can get that and capture that a lot faster. I thought tonight we would talk about those changes, some of them, any questions you might have. There's a lot of information now on your virtual office, the Freedom Revolution, the various ways to go and look at the worksheets as you grow up into position. But basically, our sales coordinator position has had some alterations that I think are extremely beneficial. And we'll go over those first. And then, the other positions as you go up through National Marketing Director and beyond, those also have been, I guess you would say, relaxed just a little bit. It was just as we have massaged, I guess you would say, this compensation plan for the higher good of everybody in the field. It's been looking for what's the best combination as far as people striving for position, creating the security that they need, but getting rewarded properly along in that process. So I thought maybe we would just start with questions. I will say that the worksheets are really, for me, the place to really find out exactly what's needed, because it helps you set that next goal. It gives you real clear instructions. I think the worksheets have been a great thing for us, and those are updated. And so you'll find that the partner application, the Partner Plus position, the QSC position, those have remained pretty much exactly the same. But as you go into sales coordinator position, now there are actually two worksheets for that. And there's one that kind of gives you an overall, it's called the planning, they're both planning worksheets. But there's one that tells you all the benefits of being a sales coordinator, and then the two tracks that you can run on. And really, it's actually, in my mind, it's like three, because you can do one or the other, or a combination of both. And I think that's great as well. So I'm just going to go over that really quickly. And then any questions you have on that, let's talk about it. And any questions you have about anything, really, I'll do my best to answer those. But if we look at our marketing model and our compensation plan, the top commission position is sales coordinator. Once you get to sales coordinator, you're receiving all the, commissions, the retail profit, full retail profit for any personal customers you have. You're receiving those commissions, which is the difference between your position and those people growing up beneath you. And you're now, entitled for all monies if you're in qualification as if your business is performance bonus qualified, which is $1,800 in production for yourself, your customers, your new team members, and your Partner Plus. So it's always good to have that pool going on. But today you have a few variations as to how to reach that position. Once you're in sales coordinator position and you're getting full, retail return, from there, it's just a matter of continuing to expand the team so that you grow up into the positions above to national marketing director and beyond. So if we look at, all of let's just look at the perks of being a sales coordinator first. And this is Definitely if you look at your worksheets, you'll see this. It's just, you've got the sales coordinator title reward. And again, remember, everything that was in place for sales coordinator before is still in place. You can fast track or express track your business to sales coordinator either in 3 months with the original plan, which is you and your structural requirement, which would be structural requirement of at least 1 partner plus and 2 QSCs beneath you. Here, if that's done in 3 months, you're going to get a $700 bonus. And so will the sponsor. If it's 6 months, it's a $600 bonus, and so is the sponsor. So you get the sales profit on your customers, of course, which in sales coordinator position is 25%. So now with being paid, full amount, full 3%, 10%, 5%, 10%, all of our percentages being paid out on the dollar, the full dollar, that becomes pretty easy to figure. Because it's 25% or 1/4 of whatever the cost of that product was. So as a sales coordinator, though, remember 25% payout on your personal customers, the difference between your position and those people growing up on you, beneath you. Now, again, you're always eligible, and this is something that I think is very important and why team is so important. You're always eligible for those bonuses as people grow up to QSC and sales coordinator, excuse me, beneath you. So you always want that team development going on because there's really amazing reward in that as you help people grow up. Of course, here, you're definitely eligible for your 3% performance bonus. That's your team beneath you if you're PB qualified, which again is the 1,800 between you, your customers, your partners, and your partner plus. And you're eligible, of course, for the 3% promote out bonus as that open business. And that's all of you, your customers, your partners, your partner plus, and your QSCs go into that open amount to qualify you for promote out bonus. Again, team is a very powerful part of carrying your business as well as the structure. So if we look at, though, what's different, because this is exactly the way we've been working. It's, a wonderful way, I think, as far as having team, but now they have what they refer to as the customer track. And so with this, you can go to the sales coordinator position without the requirement of team. Now, there are advantages and there are disadvantages. The advantage would be that maybe you've come across someone who is, it may be a physician, it may be somebody who has a beauty salon and has a lot of clientele. It may be someone who has a gym. It may be someone, as we refer to today, as influencers. They have a huge following, a social media following. Actually, we had a new team member, a new partner, who just this last month did have that kind of following. She went to sales coordinator her first month because through her following, she had 75 orders for Tower Gardens. So that, is one of those things that happens once in a while. And the great thing about this new track is that it gives those people an avenue to grow into sales coordinator with just customers. You might have somebody that just loves customer acquisition and goes into that position of sales coordinator and hadn't even gotten to the point of developing team yet. So that's very feasible now and is doable in the customer track. If done within the 3 months, it's still going to have the same bonus return, 6 months, same bonus return, the 700 for 3 months and the 600 for 6 months. Now there's also that combination too, which is great, is you might have someone who's growing to sales coordinator and they have some team members, but those team members may.
Cheryl, you accidentally muted.
I accidentally muted myself.
There you go.
Okay. Anyway, but you let's say that you've got this combination going on where you have someone who's growing with customers, they have some partners, those partners' orders, remember, they count toward the volume as well. So but the partners don't need to be in any necessary structure. You could actually have 5, 10, whatever, as far as partners. Some of them might grow to partner plus, whatever. But remember, those people, their orders count as well toward the 10,800, the requirement to become a sales coordinator. So I think that's an exciting idea right there, because you can be putting your team together with with anyone coming into your business. You can grow with customers, but you can also have those people who are ready to grow up themselves and yet go to sales coordinator fairly quickly. So at this point, let me stop and you all ask me questions and I'll do my best to answer them. And if I don't know the answer, we'll call up somebody who does. Okay, but I think we do. So who might have a question now on the sales coordinator position so that we can become clear with that? Anybody? Anyone? Questions? I see Celine. I saw her thinking over there with Celine.
Actually, so Nancy Kropa and I went over this today, and we had different numbers. So I was really confused, but now that I'm looking at this sheet with the explore the possibilities where it has them all, this makes sense. So I'm super excited because I have so many doctors that in the past did not want to build a business, but wanted to offer it to their patients. So I think this is beyond.
Well, I've already revived one of those today. I was very excited about it because they love the product so much, but they just don't have time. And that's really, this was created so that those people who either don't have time because their practices are large, or like I said, this was just, a surprise to me. This woman who had a following that all were in love with the Tower Garden, and 76 Tower Gardens in 1 month. That's a little unusual. I don't think we'd come across that often. But her first check was $13,000 because of the retail profit. So it opens a door that we had closed to us in the past, just because we hadn't evolved to that thinking, I think, as far as company is concerned, and all of us really. We now, with people having social media followings, I'm not one of those. I've got my text going, I've got Facebook going, but there are people who literally have followings for one reason or another, and that would be an avenue for them to have a large customer base without having to build a structure. And then what I think will happen is, as they realize the power of what this compensation plan will do, they'll find others who will also, take on the business, and they'll grow from there. But they'll be growing, we'll all be growing from a sales coordinator position. The thing about sales coordinator position that's important to get some clarity on too, is we're really all sales coordinators with titles and benefits as we grow up through this marketing model. Sales coordinator is the top commission position, full retail profit. You can build a team. You're entitled to get all of the downline monies, the 3% for the for the performance bonus, 3% for promote out bonus. So all the monies that are available in this compensation plan are available to you as a sales coordinator. And that's something you want to help people see as they look at this plan. As we grow up into the various leadership positions, QSSC, SSC, qualifying national marketing director, there are benefits that come along with that. Those positions also indicate that you have got, a bigger base of distribution. So obviously your income would reflect that. But we're truly sales coordinators with titles as we grow up, and benefits that go along with them, especially as you get into the Q position and national marketing director position. Those are, the benefit package is something that doesn't happen in other companies. Sometimes we take for granted that all companies have the same kind of benefits, and it's just not the case. We're the only company, as far as independent contractors out there, we're the only company that has benefit program for their people as they grow up through our plan. Who else might have some questions on sales coordinator, the sales coordinator position, and growing into that position, or thoughts, or anything you'd like to share? Don't be shy. That's what this is for. It's for us to, we're a small enough group, you can ask whatever questions. Anybody? Anyone else?
Sure, I have a question.
Okay. Let's see if I can answer it.
I was just curious how the bonuses will work if you've been in the business and you're at SSC moving forward. If you are in 12 club, have gone back to 9 club, vice versa, moving forward. How does that work?
And that's a great question, because there's something that's been put into this program, which is, I've never heard us do before, but I love it. So let's say we'll take the example, this happens for clubs and for titles. The titles are, of course, every position you're in. If you're a sales coordinator, or Courtney, as you're saying, an SSC, wherever you are. Let's say that what you required for that title to get there, you've dropped back a bit. An example of that, let me take this as an example. The clubs are the same thing. If you were 12 club, as you said, and let's say you've dropped back to 9. When you went to 12 club, if we were, at a time when we were paying bonuses for 12 club, you got $1,200 for that. For every club level, you get that many $100 for that club level. So let's say you were 12 club, but you drop back to 9 club. Then if you get back to 12, you're going to have a prorated bonus between the 9 and 12. So that would be, the difference is 3. And so that would be $300. Okay. So what they're saying here is they don't want people to feel frustrated because they've got to grow back up to where they were before they can start heading for the next one. Okay. Does that make sense? Does everybody get that? The same thing is going to happen for titles. Let's say that, whatever was required from both a volume standpoint, and it's all on volume, whatever was required from a volume standpoint, let's say you've dropped beneath whatever that volume amount was. To get back to the volume amount, not the old amount, but the new amount, to get back there, you would get a prorated bonus for that as well. Does that make sense, Courtney? Any more questions, Courtney, on that?
Yeah, I guess just how to figure that out.
Okay, well, it's a lot easier on clubs, but if you look at, let's say the national marketing director position, before the volume was 48,000, I believe, and that had to be cumulative over a 3-month period. Today it's 40,000. Let's say that you've dropped beneath that, then to get back to that amount, there would be a prorated bonus on that. And then the bonus today is 7,500. So it would be prorated as far as the difference between where a person would be. And that's for any position. Let's take the example though. Let's do both club and title positions. Let's say that you were and I'll use just 50 club as an example. Let's say you drop back to, and this is taking it way down, okay? But let's say you drop back to 12 club, and the next club would be 24, right? And then 39. So you drop back to 12 club, and the next club would be 24. So from 12 to 24, you would get a prorated bonus, which instead of 24 would be $1,200, right? It's half. But now going to from 24 to 39, you get the 3,900. Going from 39 to 50, you would get the 5,000. So you only prorated once, even though, let's say you drop back 4 levels of clubs, it's only the first one that's prorated. After that, it's full bonus all the way back to where you were. I think that's very exciting. Everybody should be cheering over that one because, again, they didn't want people to meet with that frustration. And that's something that, I mean, we all have to realize, you know, COVID certainly took its toll. We have been very blessed in that, you know, our business has survived very well. Our production is good. We're not in a position where we're starting over, so to speak. We're in a very good position, but they really have put things in place to make it very enticing for people to move back up through the positions. The same thing would happen with titles. Whatever the title was, wherever you've fallen back to as far as volume, and again, it's volume, it's not structure. Wherever you've fallen back to as far as volume, the first step up to the next position would be prorated, and then after that, it would be full bonus all the way up. Okay, that makes sense to everybody. Any questions on that part? It's not time to be silent. Celine, I see you.
Sorry. So I have a member of my team who's actually on right now. She came back. She's been gone for a while. And so we're having her reinstated as a sales coordinator because that's what she was when she left. But she's got 0 volume underneath her right now, but we're rebuilding her team. If she rebuilds and gets to sales coordinator qualifications, would she get that $600 or $700?
Because you reinstated her as the sales coordinator, most likely not, but it would be full bonus from sales coordinator to the next.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Now, another thing they've added that was really exciting is that we never had a club bonus for 3 club or 6 club. So when you go to 3 club for the first time, it's a $300 bonus. 6 club, of course, is a $600 bonus. Let's say a person was 6 club, even though they never got a bonus. They are now 4 club. Going from 4 back to 6, they get $200. 6 to 12 would be the full $1,200. Okay, does that help as far as clubs are concerned? And again, it is, you know, if you had been consistently active in some way and you fell back, then, you know, you're going to, it'll follow this pattern. Any questions on this part? Anybody that, is it confusing? Is it exciting? Give me some feedback here.
Beyond exciting.
I find it extremely exciting. I've got a lot of folks who are really, really excited about it, myself included. Just as far, and the other thing I've done that, and maybe I just trying to find time to do this, but I've gone back through my PPC report, people who've been dormant for a long time. They're still on the product. They still have, you know, volume that's happening and very consistently, but they may have really, you know, I can look at one that's a senior sales coordinator from many years back and had dropped down to what would have been probably sales coordinator volume. So we're looking at that, you know, going back to, you know, prorated from that to QSSC, qualifying senior sales coordinator. She'll prorate there, and then she'll get that full, you know, difference between the QSSC and the SSC, the bonuses there. So it's very exciting for people. It's like, you know, renewal totally on renewing their business in a way that is very energizing. Anybody else? Any questions on any of this?
I have a question.
Yes,
And I do feel shy because I don't want to ask a dumb question.
well, there are no dumb questions. Listen, I have driven Sean Hopkins and everybody, and I was part of the helping to figure all this out, and I'm still calling him 4 times today. I call Sean. Okay, I said I don't want to say anything, you know, that's wrong or stupid or whatever. So we can't, any of us, we have to put stupid down right now. Nobody's stupid on this call, okay? It's not, it can't happen because we're all learning it. And, but what we're learning is very exciting. So ask the question, Edie.
I should be wearing a disguise or something. Anyway, I know that Sean Hopkins has touched on this, and I have talked about it a little bit with my sponsor, Pammy Shepley. But I have two people who have been in the business a long time. They have a good amount of volume, but they're not yet sales coordinators. And whether they can use their old volume, that's my question. Or whether they do have to start fresh as of October 1st.
Well, there was a lot of discussion on that, okay?
Mhm.
Because there would have been people who would have dropped into sales coordinator that haven't been active and are not really particularly interested in being active. And that would have really disrupted the POB balance of the people who were working. Okay, so they had to be really careful about that. So this is what's happening with that. As of October the 1st, it all starts October the 1st, so it's retroactive as far as this past month. They have to have 20 active customers, active, okay? And it could be 20 new active customers, and any reorders will count. So it's new active customers since October the 1st, 20 of those. So if that's in place, and again, reorders, when they show up, remember they count as new orders. So it's 20 new active orders, and then they promote. So that's my understanding at this point. And that was a point that was discussed so much that, you know, because again, that's where everybody was the most confused. And so that should be also, let me see if it's on this new worksheet, probably is. And there are a couple of things there. So let's go over that. And that's a good question. Sales coordinators is for, and what you're talking about too is the slow track, right? Where you're accumulating. So this is another thing we should discuss is there are people that do this for most of us for bonus reward as well as position and commission and retail profit. So if you're doing it within the guidelines of the 3 months, the 6 months, you're going to get that bonus. But let's say it's accumulated over time. And what they didn't want was for someone to just be able to basically eat their way to the top and never have any interest in really building a business. Okay. So it was that they would have 20 new active customers, so they would be at least involved from a business standpoint. And I think there's something else here too, is that, you know, as you go through, you can't have more than $2,700 worth of orders within your own household. So that would be another thing. A person couldn't just order the amount to buy the position. That makes sense, Edie? Okay. And so if you're looking at accumulating, it's got to be from October the 1st, and it has to have at least 20 new customers. That's the word as far as I know it. And if
Okay, thank you.
I'm wrong on that, somebody call me up and tell me. Okay.
Okay,
I was in those discussions a lot, and but you do.
because part of my confusion with that too was when I first called about it just after the conference, that if they wanted to use the old compensation plan, they could with the fulfilling their structure requirements. But
Right.
now it seems like my understanding is that's not an option.
And that's something that was put out that was not correct. And again, I'll share with you all, there was a lot of discussion going on about this plan, and they had not planned to give us the plan at the conference, okay? But what happened was Canada kind of jumped the gun on it, which I'm kind of happy about, really, because it happened to us now quickly as well. They had made the changes in Australia And so then Canada was making the same changes, and they were all bringing their club bonuses back. And that was not really in discussion on the table for us. So when we heard about the club bonuses, we all wanted the club bonuses back. So a lot of this was done at the midnight hour, you might say, right before the conference. And they wanted to be able to announce it at conference. So they had not, there were some things that had to be, I guess, the details had to be worked out, you might say. And that thing about, if people just fell into sales coordinator, I mean, there are people that they've accumulated over time, 2, 3, 4 times more than just the volume number by ordering for their household over the years. So they're really what we used to refer to as family planners, which is, they were people who just wanted to have the discount for their family, and you still want those. But the person getting the sales coordinator position without bonus, without bonus, because if you're doing it within that short period of time, 3 months or 6 months, you're going to have active people because that has to happen. But if it's accumulated over time, there is no bonus once it goes past the 6 months, unless you use, you can use any 6-month window, but if you have accumulated and you want it without bonus, then there has to be 20 active customers within the time frame. Okay? Because that way it makes it fair, you might say, for everybody. Okay, questions, anybody else? Because I think that question, Edie, was probably the most prevalent throughout the field because it was confusing. And that's why the
Thank you.
20 customers were put in place. So anybody who wants to reactivate, they have to get 20 customers, and no more than 2,700 can be in their own household. Okay. And that's for the ones that get the bonus too. You'll see that on the customer track worksheet, is that, only 2,700 can be in the same household. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, good. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Awesome, Cheryl. This is Awesome Dave. How are you?
Awesome, Dave. I was looking at your stuff. It's time for us to fly. Okay.
Yes, I agree. I had a quick question, and this is, I had a person that was VF, got, and just recently got back active again, and is about ready to relaunch. And in the shuffle, because she was inactive for a while, lost her position, so to speak. Isn't it better to not have your position and just earn all the bonuses that somebody who's brand new?
It's by far better. It's by far better. I really encourage people to do that. Of course, you have the choice, to go back in. If you were a national marketing director and you fell out, they're not going to let you go back as a national marketing director, okay? But a person from the start date until sales coordinator, if they're a sales coordinator or below, they can go back in those positions. But they're going to have to do the volume anyway. So it makes total sense to collect the bonuses. There's a bonus for going into Partner Plus. There's a bonus for QSC. The bonus for QSC, they could pick up hundreds of dollars. They're gonna have to do those numbers anyway to get to sales coordinator. So why not pick up the money on the way? Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah, to me, I said, don't get your old position back, because there's money that you'll lose because she has no customers that are active anymore. So it's just like, you're going to rebuild anyways. Why not pick up the bonuses along the way? So that would be a strategy for anybody.
That would be definitely would be my encouragement. Now, some people choose to go back into position because they like the feeling of the security of that, and that's fine too. But again, you are leaving money on the table if you're going back into the position. So
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
so either way, it's whatever they feel they need to do for themselves. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
And I would sure encourage people to pick up the money as they go. So anybody else, questions along any of these lines, anything. Again, if we're looking at, and I probably could go, we've still got a few minutes left. Let me see if I can go to the desktop and I can show you the whole, I think I can show you the whole layout. I don't know. See what this is.
I see some people have a sheet. Did you send that out? I was transitioning tonight, so I wasn't here the whole time. Is there a sheet that's a mail out Missy could send out?
I think I have that.
Okay.
I didn't do that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think I have this. I thought I had it up on my desktop, but I don't. I had a sheet that was showing the comparison of the entire thing, but can't seem to open it. So that's my technology skills. Sorry for that. Maybe next time I'll get that up there. But I did have a comparison sheet of what the old and what the new is all the way to the top. And I'll get that up on the desktop next time and we can look at it. But you can also see it, I'm sure, in your virtual office, but especially going to the worksheets, they'll show you exactly what needs to happen. And you don't have to worry about the active working legs anymore as you go up through the various top positions. The requirements are, much more relaxed. So that's good. Anybody else? Any other questions on this? My encouragement to you would be to think as you've always thought, okay? Sales coordinator is the first goal. It's the first goal. And if you can have people realize that QSC is the first step, you want to move very quickly from, that sign up moment to QSC. And that then is your first step to go to sales coordinator. If you can, and this I would encourage everybody, is you want to go or have people in your team, you want to have them go to QSC within that first month, pick up those, bonuses, positions, and then be a sales coordinator at least within the first 3 months. Because you pick up all the top bonuses, and there's so many ways now to get to that sales coordinator position. If the person wants to build a business, you really want to encourage team development along the way. The additional advantage we have with the sales coordinator position to invite people to go to sales coordinator if they have a large customer base or potential customer base is something that's, great in itself, but it's also going to be limiting if the person wants to build a business, because they're not going to have that team to help them, as far as volume and volume growth. And there's a lot more here to volume growth than there was before. The reward comes quickly with volume growth. So you really want to encourage people, if they are choosing to build a business, that they're, putting on team as well. But you could put on, 8, 9, 10 partners, and they all doing a little bit, that'll get you to sales coordinator too. So there are advantages in every direction. It just needs to be used wisely. And then, of course, if you come across somebody who can sell 76 tower gardens in 1 month, hooray, because that's a big ticket for that person. And it would be the same with our products. If they had, a huge potential customer base because they have a huge following, it just opens that door, and that door wasn't open to us before. Anybody else? Any other questions? Does everybody give me some input? Got 33, 34 people on here tonight. Somebody else want to tell me what you're thinking about this, how you feel about it? Do you feel like you've got your questions pretty well answered?
Cheryl, this is awesome. Thank you so much. I do have one more question. Is there any difference in the leads program when somebody gets into the leads program? And also any difference with PB and POV volume?
No difference in PB and POB volume. It's the same, the 1,800 for the PB, and I think it's 5,400 for the POB. That's exactly, all those numbers are the same. One other number I would like to be sure to make sure I share with you all is we talk about payout, and you look at being compared to other companies. And this is something that I never really noticed in the past. I always knew that we had a large payout. But, you know, in researching that, and our company sharing this with us as well, is that we pay out, it's like 45% of the cost. If you took any box of anything we sell, you know, you look at the trio or the quad or just the fruit and vegetable, we pay out 45%. And by the time you look at the bonuses and all the perks that go along with that, we have right at a 50% payout. Okay. That's unheard of in this profession. So when somebody says, oh, look over here, this is so exciting, or look over here, what is your payout? What's the payout? Because the payout eventually, you know, is going to balance for everybody in the manner, in the amount in which it is. Most companies, it's a 26 to 32% payout. That's what most companies in this profession have for their distributor base. So we have a huge payout. And that's really important. Also realizing that when a person gets to sales coordinator, they're in position to earn all monies. Again, we're just all sales coordinators with titles and benefits. So you want those titles and benefits because of bonuses. You want them because it represents a larger team. You want the benefits. Certainly, that was one of the things that really attracted me, because, you know, companies just don't give independent contractors health insurance, college tuition, you know, all of the things that we get. And Courtney, to your other question, as far as the LEAD program, right now it is still the same, but that's being looked at too, to see if that can't be expanded, especially as there'll be, you know, more and more programs which will attract attention to our products. So that'll be expanded, I'm sure, but that's, again, in discussion at this point. Anything else anybody can think of or want to comment on? Let's see, I see Sam Ashley over there. Sam, you have any questions? I just saw you wave. Okay. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, well, I'll tell you this, you will have questions, okay? Because I still have questions, but this is what I would encourage you to do. You're calling upline, you're calling the company, you know, you call me, whatever, but let's don't let these opportunities pass us by because we're confused in any way or we're not clear. Let's get real clear on exactly what has to happen for a person to grow up through our program. And so, and I'm going to take this, I'll just leave you with these last few directions here, because I know I did a kind of a interview or review with some of our people who went to 100 Club. And 100 Club, you know, that's our top recognition. That's a $10,000 reward just for going into 100 Club. But by that time, you would also be going up through titles. So there'd be some serious money there too. But the great thing about having the target of 100 Club, and that's 100 people in your organization who do $1,800 a month, is that that's about $25,000 a month in income for the people who are in that position. You can look at the clubs, and that's what I like about clubs, is when you're having a person who says, okay, I need to make such and such a month. This is my goal. This is my first goal. This is my extended goal. You can really take the clubs and say, okay, on the average, a club member earns this much, knowing what that would be. So if we're looking at, and this was just interviewing 100 club members, but these were some of the things as far as what they did. And I love this little assessment right here. You want to set real clear personal goals as well as collective goals and a defined deadline. So you would want to think about that for every club level position. If you're now wanting to go to 3 Club, what is your personal goal? The team that you have, you know, as it's beginning to grow, what's the collective goal? And then you have a timeline or a goal line or a deadline for that. And then you want to really clarify the requirements. Now, this is something that's going to go out to everybody from the company, will be what they call the goal. And when I say goal, GOAL. At first I thought it was gold, GOLD, okay, but it's the goal card, which is going to tell you exactly what you need for the next position and the next club title. But you want to make sure that you get with yourself as well as each one of your team members and clarify the requirements for them to reach the next title level and the next club level, whether it's 3 clubs, 6, 12, whatever, and whatever that next title is. Then you assess the current situation, okay? Where are they as far as the number of customers they have, team members they have, you know, people who are already in a position. So you're looking at what does that customer pool look like? What does that new team member or partner group look like? And what do the team members that are already in a position look like? So you assess the current situation to see who's going to grow where and who can grow where and who can be recruited out of the customer pool and what's the hit list for the people that they want to recruit personally. And then you set the goal and you work backward from the goal. Okay, what do we need to reach that goal? And from that, you develop your own personal plan of action. You know, what's your daily method of operation going to look like? And then you develop team members' plan of action. So you know, are sitting with them to where they have a goal, a plan for that goal and a timeline to meet it. Okay, and we're now 10 minutes over, but I feel like this is all really important for us. You know, we are, and this is something, if you listen to our new CEO, and I just love her. I think she's just a huge blessing to us, Stuart Granagi. You know, we are going to be a major force in the marketplace. We will reach the initiative of doubling our company by 2025. And it's because everything is plant-based now. That's the hot, you know, words on the street. That's the ticket. If it's plant-based, you know, everybody's after it, but also just this need and desire that people have, you know, to make sure that they're doing the best for their body from a health standpoint, from a strong immune system. All of our research supports everything. We are perfectly poised to have the best future of just about anything that could be out there. And we have a lot of years of, you know, collective intelligence, I guess you would say, over all this time, and expertise. So we don't want to watch this parade. We want to lead it. And you certainly can at this point. Our marketing plan is one now, our compensation plan that you can help people move through easily and feel rewards quickly, both financial and personal, and collect that, you know, emotional revenue as well as financial revenue. So we want to really, this is the time to talk to everybody that moves, okay, to invite them to partner with you in this. Okay, I've said enough. I'm going to say goodnight, okay? But always, you're welcome to bring people back to this call. We will continue to discuss this and make sure that we all are really, really clear. As you have questions during the week, you either drive somebody crazy at the home office, or you get with us, or you have them written down so we can talk about them next time, okay? Okay, guys, good night.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you so much.
If we don't
Thanks,
get
Austin.
somebody else will.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Bye.
Thanks,